Welcome back to the Band Guide. I'm your band guy, Colin, and this is another 5-minute GarageBand expert where I'm bringing you 30 tips and tricks for mixing and recording in GarageBand in 30 days. Today we're talking about vocal doubles. Vocal doubles are my favorite way to just add fullness to a vocal sound in a mix. It's also about the easiest thing you can do. You literally just have to sing the song twice. So you don't want to use vocal doubles all the time. There's definitely parts of songs that call for just a single vocal or just a harmony in a vocal. But a vocal double is a great way to just easily add a little bit of fullness in a chorus, or some verses even call for vocal doubles. You can always try it out. There's ways to use vocal doubles more as an effect. It's definitely a Foo Fighters kind of sound. It's very common for them to just use a vocal double throughout the whole song. But you can also just use it subtly tucked into your mix to just add fullness in not a super perceivable way. There's a few different ways that we can use vocal doubles. I'm going to show you 2 examples today, and then at the end I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about other ways that we can layer vocals to keep the listener's interest. So let's start by listening to this first example. This is just kind of a static mix of a song, and this is just a very straight up simple vocal double. So we have the chorus here. It's like they're calling your name on the way back home. Now this song is right at the top of the singer's register. So his voice gets a little bit thinner when he's hitting these notes than some other songs that he might sing that are a little bit closer to his normal natural range. And so we combated that by just adding this vocal double. Let's listen to it soloed, and it is just exactly the same chorus sung as similarly as possible. It's like they're calling your name on the way back home. Now let's listen to it in the mix, and let's take it out and notice how just sparse the vocals sound as soon as this vocal double drops out. It's like they're calling your name on the way back home. You never get over it. Oh. It's amazing, right? Like, it's very subtle. You don't notice it as being a wholly separate part, but it just adds fullness to that lead line and makes it sound very intentional and not like just a solo vocal singing that chorus. The chorus should sound big and be big, and sometimes you need to double the vocal to really get that big sound and to combat the other bigness that's happening in that chorus. Bigness, I like it. Okay, let's jump over to another example, and I'll show you a different way that you can do a vocal double. All right, so on this example, we have 2 doubles. We're going to have a left and a right double. Let's listen to it in solo so you can hear just what these doubles sound like. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher. So same goal. We just wanted to get the vocal recording as close to the original as possible, as close to the lead line as possible. And in this case, we recorded 2 so that we could pan them far left and far right. That lets the vocal sound huge, but ultimately because it's singing the same part, you can't quite tell that it's more than one vocal. So let's listen to it in the mix, and I'll take them out and add them back in. Higher, higher, oh. See, you don't necessarily notice it or think of it when you're listening to the song, but it just adds a lot of width and a lot of character. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is some vocal layering techniques that you can use just to add a little more interest to the listener. In this, we're using different vocal harmonies to just add a little bit of width to different parts of this chorus. One way to add width is to have parts that are wide and then parts that are narrow. So with this, we are alternating with these harmonies here. These are high harmonies. Higher. Those are panned far left and right, and then we're going to do some mono harmonies. So let's listen to everything in solo here. Higher, higher, oh, I'll take you higher. Higher, oh my love. So we're alternating with the harmonies back and forth between wide and then back to just a narrow mono harmony. Doing this just adds a little bit of interest to the listener. They don't necessarily perceive what they're hearing, but it adds fullness, it adds harmony, and it adds interest and movement throughout the track. So don't shy away from using vocal harmonies, and don't shy away from recording multiple layers of your vocals to add interest to the listener. It's important to get really tight performances. The more vocals you stack, the more you want to make sure that the start and stop of different words line up so that it's not just a lot of different starting and stopping points. But if you're really intentional to make sure you get a close performance, you can just keep adding vocals and make your choruses bigger and bigger, and it's going to be huge for the listener. If you haven't already, be sure to grab my 6-step checklist to a pro mix in GarageBand. If this video is helpful for you, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.